Morning everyone, how you doing? I'm Carl and this is the Waterside Workshop. So, bit of an update of what we've been up to since the last video. I'm in the Rover 75, the grey estate at the moment, this morning. Haven't touched it yet, as you can see it's still filthy. Just sort of running it about at the moment and getting used to it and making sure it's all good. But yesterday, me and Joe took a big drive up to Hertfordshire, whatever you call it, which is about 5 hours from here, and went to see a friend of one of the Rover groups and had a clutch put in this. Not only did he put a clutch in, he'd done a bottom arm, drop links, and a few other bits, costing us just over the £600 mark. But while he was fitting it, because obviously that's a day's work, bit of a pig of a job on these. You have to drop the whole front subframe down and stuff like that, and I haven't got a ramp at the moment, so I didn't really fancy it. So we spent the day looking around at Leamington town and just see what they had to offer, have a little wander. We had lunch, dinner in the local Wetherspoons, which is like a really old building with big open fires, which that was quite nice. So we sat in there and had a meal and then carried on wandering, just sort of passing the time away while he was doing the clutch. We actually went up the night before and we stayed in the travel lodge up in the mountains. That was quite cool. Cost us just under £50, I think it was, for the two of us for a room for the night. We actually didn't get up there till 1 o'clock in the morning, but done the job. Somewhere to sleep, somewhere to hang out for the night, and then get the car down there for first thing in the morning. Stalled it! Whoa! Tried to pull away in third. That ain't gonna work, is it? So yeah, that's what we've been up to the last few days, and now you're joining me on my way back over to the unit. We've still got a mess in there of a little Peugeot 206. We've got to sort of tidy that up, get that out of the way, and move on to the next car. I've obviously got to list a load of parts and stuff that I took off it, and the places we do around the internet and stuff like that, and then sort of move on from there. I think I'm gonna move on to the Volvo, I think, next. Got some drive shafts to tackle on that. So let's get on with our day and welcome in. Got a nice sunny day today, but it's really windy again. It's saying we've got 11 degrees, so it's not cold. Got winds blowing me all over the place. He went to pull out, didn't he? Hoping today's going to go pretty well, but you never can tell. You never know what's going to happen on the next job. Okay, so we're coming back up to the industrial estate where my unit is. You can probably see on the trees and thorn bushes and stuff, how windy it is. It's quite rough. Not much is going to change around here because, as I said, we've been away for a couple of days. Having some bits fitted on this. So this is where things left off. Got gearboxes, drive shafts, brakes, manifolds, starter motors, windscreen washer bottles, ECUs, wiring looms, coolant tanks, radiator kits, you name it, it's all in here. Still got the old engine up on the hoist. Been draining oil for a couple of days now, so I don't think there's any oil in there, which is good. So we'll put the old sump plug back in and sort that out. And that's the case of we've got to degrease all the list lot at some point. I won't be doing it today because I haven't got no degreaser, but I will go and get some. So we'll get this out of the way, we'll get all this lot tidied up on the floor, suck up any more of this antifreeze and stuff, sort out some tools. And then we've got to put the suspension and stuff back together on the 206 so we can get some wheels on it. And hopefully we'll be able to roll it out of here and get on to the next one. So that's the plan. So as you can clearly see, I'm having a good old tidy up, getting all the bits off the floor, keeping them all with the right vehicle. Very easy to get muddled up if you strip 2 or 3 different ones at once. I think I'm going to pull the exhaust system off next. Sort these brakes out. These brakes are actually in really good nick, to be honest. I'm going to take a lot of tool to give them a quick clean up with some degreaser and brake and clutch cleaner, and they should be quite tidy. Right, so I'm guessing just on the back here there's a couple of rubbers still holding the exhaust on. We'll get down there with the knife and just cut them rubbers off. Get them sorted. Get the exhaust off. Catalytic converter on the exhaust is obviously the most expensive bit. Just bear with me a minute, I know you can't see me, I'm just cutting the rubber off if I can get to it. Hopefully I can. It's not easy to be honest because it's all jacked up and pointing the wrong direction. We got it, I can see it. Yeah. That's off. Wasn't too bad, wasn't too bad. Done a lot harder things. Right. Get rid of the knife. Should be able to pull this exhaust through now. All in one piece. That. Whoa. Bit of a beast, but as long as we can get out of the way for now. This is obviously stopping us from doing our next job. I've got to put this lot back together to a point where I can just move the car. It shouldn't be too crazy, to be fair. As long as I can get the arms down far enough to get back in the joints. Probably gonna have to use a bar. Find some bolts. Down you go. Some of these bottom arms can be a real pain if they're quite tight, but that one isn't too bad at all. Hammer, knock it in slightly. Don't want it to fall out when we put the wheels on, do we? Nothing has to be like major tight or anything. This is the bolt and nut that went through. Whack it on like so. Literally just go as tight as you can with your hands, as long as the whole thread's on, which it is. That puts that on for us. Obviously got to put the steering arm in. Won't go far without that. Well, we won't steer much without that anyway. And that's this nut here. And that's pretty much all we need for a bit of quite slack steering. Drop everything off the tyre that we put on there. The tyres on this are actually really good as well, so when we do strip the suspension and stuff like that as well, we should have a set of tyres and trims that are pretty good as well. What's going on here? Pain to line up sometimes. You have to just keep moving them. Should be the case. Don't need it all plastered on or done up silly tight or anything. Going back on quite nicely, just what we need. Nice speedy job, no messing around too much. 17mm to do the old wheel nuts up. And so we're not going to do them too crazy, we're just going to nip them up. Just enough to stop the wheel coming off. It's obviously going to be all slack because the steering's loose and stuff, but they ain't going nowhere, and that's all that matter. Oh, right, round to the other side. We'll do that on fast forward because you're seeing that already. So that went too bad. Got the suspension and stuff back on, steering arms, all that sort of stuff. Now we got to get off the stands, back on the floor. Jack should just be enough to get it in the air. It's one, has it come off the other one as well, hopefully. It's a bit stuck for some reason. We got it. Ooh. Right, that's them out. So we should be able to put it back on the ground now. And that should sit normal. Hopefully. Lovely jubbly. It's already rolling, as you can see, so that's good news. Obviously, when you move them like this though, with no front brakes on, all you got left is the handbrake. Don't need that up there, do we? Whew. So we'll close all these bits in here for now. Now it's a case of picking up the rubbish. We need to degrease the floor as much as possible, really. I ain't got none of my powder on me pot on the floor at the moment, but I shall grab another bag straight away. Right. Okay, so we need to have a bit of a move round. It's absolutely mega windy outside. All the roofs and everything are all shaking around, so the doors. But it's got to be done. See what's going to start. Looks like we're going to have to jump a green one again today. I think that one needs an alternator. I think that's why the battery's not holding charge. We should be able to jump it off the Volvo. A bit of luck. See what we can do. This big old mill thing up there, if you look on the side there, the white bit, that huge piece of metal decided to fly down the other day in this wind. Luckily it didn't damage one of the good cars, but it did hit the side of the Peugeot there. That's over the back at the moment. Right, I'm gonna see if we can start the green one off the Volvo. Just grabbing the leads, and we should be well away. Hopefully she'll go pretty easy. Oh, that wind! It's blowing my head off. What do we got here? Obviously when you jump in the car, make sure you get the power nerves the right way around. Sometimes the colours can be deceiving. This one should fire up straight away, hopefully. If not, then we are in a bit of a pickle. Alright, we've got dash lights and everything. And there we go. Started up lovely. That's what we needed. Now we want this one to start. We had this one going the other day, so it should start. He says. There's not enough power going through. Might have to give it a minute or so. Trouble with the Volvo is the headlights come on automatic and you can't turn them off. They're programmed to the ECU, which is a real pain. What I'll do while I'm doing that is I'll move the Rover over the back there. This one always starts good. This is the one I'm using at the moment, so it should do. Pretty easy just to move that back like that. Hopefully that one's putting a bit of charge into that, and we'll get this one going. Come on, MG. Give this Volvo a bit of a rev. I should hopefully put some power into that. Normally I've got a snap-on jump pack for doing this. Well, I've actually got 3, but none of them are charging or working at the moment. Batteries seem to have died over the winter. Probably going to have to rebuild them inside, put new batteries in, sort out the connections, and probably get new chargers. Not cheap machines, they're like $4.50 each, but when they go dead like that, they don't really help. Volvo's running good, need a good old tidy out on the inside. Come on, MG. Ugh. Got plenty of power to the, the dash and everything else, but nothing else happening right now. There we go. Pretty good. Shame it's not charging. Right. Should be able to move this one out of the way now, hopefully. got no mirrors. Well, I've got one side, not the side I need to see what's going on. It's a bit of a pain. Dash is telling me there's something there, but there's not. It's just a bush. I have to have these right back and have this bit clear because next door had to get through their gates and into their yard. Right, we're in the Focus now. Just pull this window here, I think, and just leave it here for a minute. So we want the 206 just to the side of the lorry there if possible. Or do we want it there where the Volvo is? Right, let's see what we can do with this Peugeot. I'll try and bring it out, roll it out on the handbrake, which can be fun. Put these back indoors. Believe it or not, they actually cost £160. They're really good ones. Hopefully we can get it there somewhere. Feels like the handbrake's good. That's all we need, really. So that went pretty well. Couldn't have gone much better. Hopefully. So that one sorted. Let's get the Volvo in there. Because this one's going to be the next job. Something like that should do us, hopefully. I'll always open the driver's window and the passenger window while I'm working on the car, because if the battery goes flat, you don't want to get the keys locked in. Oh, I can't believe how bad this is all flapping around out here. A bit worried that something else is going to come down. It's not nice. Alright. Focus back round. 75 estate back round. And we're sort of keeping the road all nice and clear for other people in the other units. That's what it's all about. Ooh. Right. Let's go back in. That big old tube up there. It's flapping around like mad. It's not nice. Don't really want to see anything come off the side of there. Go straight through the window or put a huge dent in the cars. Or get the keys out of the Peugeot. Just still need to sell the lock system and the ECU and stuff like that with the keys for the ignition. Right then. Let's get these doors shut. Can't believe how bad that wind is. Must be a good 60-70 mile an hour, which means the coasts are, cliffs and stuff are collapsing again. Whew. We're back in. I think what I'm going to do is put the kettle on and sort of think about how we're going to do this job. So this is what the Mr. Postman brought me. A couple of drive shafts for a Volvo V50, 2 litre turbo diesel. And that's what we've got to do on there today. So the first thing to do is get it up in the air, get it on some stands, get the wheels off, and sort of have a look underneath, see what the job's like. So in my case, I had a bit of hassle with someone's put non-genuine wheels on here, and I've also got like 3 different size wheel nuts. Some have got the metal covers on and they're slipping, which made it a bit of a nightmare. I've got most of them off. I've got one more stuck on there, I think. So I'm going to jack it up so we can see what we're doing. Hefty old car to pump up. Whew. It's a good workout. Get it up as high as you can, because you're going to want to be working under there in a little while. Next thing you're going to need is a axle stand. You want that somewhere underneath, not on your wishbones or nothing like that. Somewhere safe underneath. Can't have on your wishbones because you've got to move them up and down when you're taking the bottom ball joints and stuff out. So let's have a look and see what's happening here on these wheel nuts. Whew. Normally you'll find if you take the stock off here and bang it a few times, you can normally get the wheel nut out. So we've still got one more in there. It's been a real pain. Got an 18mm. I'm going to try and hammer over it. It's not feeling too good there. Doesn't want to know really, to be honest. So I've done this part of the video as like a how-to video, so I've made a separate video if you want to see me doing this job sort of start to finish. If you want to copy and sort of do one yourself or save yourself a bit of money from garage bills and stuff like that. So I'll stick a picture up of the actual video that is, and you can go over to that if you want to. I'll fast forward through the rest of this and we'll carry on with the car. So after finishing the drive shaft, I decided that was lunchtime. So we're going for a little cruise and we're going to find a nice little spot to sit and have our lunch and watch the sea. So join me on this little bit and then we'll get back on the car and carry on with this week. So, this is where we are. Yes, the signs and everything are all flapping around. It's pretty rough. Let's go down the ramp and have a little look. So the wind's off our back, so all these sea defences and stuff are blocking the wind, so I can walk either way without any problems. These are what they need to put up along Hemsby. They could do with defences like that all the way along and that sort of things out. As you can see, the sea is chocolatey brown. So, as you can see, what better place to sit and have lunch, but now it's time to get back to work. So, off back to the unit we go. I'll see you back on the unit in a few minutes time. One little click for you, 10 minutes, 15-minute drive for me. See you soon. Okay, so we're back at the unit. As you can see, drive shaft's down there. When I was doing this side, obviously I said in the other video I made, but I found out this bottom ball joint is completely knackered, so I'm going to have to order one of them, get that replaced. But everything else in there is looking pretty good. The one on the track rod end's nice and tight, so that's all good. So it's a case of getting all these tools around this side now. I just took the wheel off camera, all jacked up. I'll stick an axle underneath there and we'll start to take this side apart. Need a drive shaft out this side and check the joints and stuff on this side before I order one for the other side in case I need two or some other parts, and we'll go from there. So that's what I'm doing next. Okay, so I went through the whole process, as you can probably get the idea of what I'm doing. Get it all jacked up. And this will stand under. It's coming out. There's a gearbox on the other side now. But it's all going in the tub, so it's all good. Right. thing in the middle there. Getting the screwdriver into the top of the brakes. Want them undone. Center bolt out. Screwdriver out. I'm gonna turn the steering, undo the track rod end and the bottom ball joint, and then we should be able to pull that drive shaft down. So the steering's all turned. Ooh. $17 So I won't get you to watch me doing this. Turn the old radio up. I'll undo this down here. We'll give it a jiggle and we'll pull that drive shaft out. Well, this side was a lot harder than the other side. These are better right pain. One drive shaft. Cup's still in the box again. Should be able to get it. Whew. I'll have to get under there with a bar and force that out. Get up a little bit higher, shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I got down under there with the big orange bar, leaving it through. This is the cut, goes on there. And that's the other drive shaft. Bit of play in that end. Yeah, quite a bit of play in that end. So hopefully that's part of the problem. What's the bottom ball doing like? absolutely collapsed. Terrible one. Rubber's all split anyway than it was before I even started. And it's basically got nothing left in it. And so is the track rod end, so going to need both of them. Going to need a bottom ball joint and a track rod end before that makes this anything worth drivable again. I was a bit sort of wandering around the road like this, so now we know why. Maybe some tyres as well. Keep this front end all sort of balanced up, get the tracking done so it's all pulling straight, and that should sort that. There is under the bonnet, there is some mountains and stuff to do as well, so we'll have to sort them at some point, but one job at a time. Let's get these drive shafts and ball joints and track rod ends finished. Whew, and then we can have a look at some engine mountains. Whew, so that side was a bit of a pig compared to this side. Everything was like a lot more rusted up. Been on there a lot longer, I think. And the bolts just turned half a turn at a time. And that was just, yeah, a bit of a nightmare. Took a little while, but can't worry about it, that's all part of the job. So it looks like we need 2 bottom ball joints, a track rod end for that side. Obviously the 2 drive shafts that we're putting in. And then hopefully, there's a little bit of bodywork on the front, but hopefully we'll give it a wash down on that and a test run and make sure it's all good, and hopefully that's made it roadworthy again. We'll be able to put it in for an MOT. Once we know there's no more MOT work and stuff like that, then we can give the old car a good old detail, a good old tidy up, and go from there. There is an engine mounting under the bonnet to do up the top, the big donut one, so I've got to do that. And anything else I find as we're going through, but fingers crossed we won't find too much because that gets that expensive. So next thing to do is go and get some parts. I think there's no point in me waiting around for a day or two for some parts to come, because then I can't do anything and that's a waste of my time. So we'll jump back in the car and I think we'll head off to Norwich or Yarmouth. We'll grab some parts for this Volvo. So I'll see you out there. One more thing before we'll get there. And so all these bits and stuff like this, when we build these cars, safety is obviously the main priority. So the car's got to be top notch, ready to drive down the road for the person that buys them. So that means all suspension, brakes, engine, tyres, everything's got to be top notch, driving like it's brand new. And then that can go out the door and people can enjoy it, and that will last them, you know, a good few years before they have to spend any more money on it. That's the plan. That's how we send our cars out. Yeah, we spend a bit more on them sometimes. Definitely spend a bit more time on them, making them look nice. But we seem to get a fairly decent price for our cars. I think people come back, sort of one member of the family buys, and then like the daughter comes, and then they tell their friends. So we seem to get a lot of people in the same families come back and buy cars from us. So pretty sure we're doing something right, and our cars are good. So we'll carry on with that, and that's how they need to be. Right, let's jump in. Let's make some phone calls and then jump in the road. So we're in the car, heading on our way to Norwich. So Norwich is about just over an hour from the unit. So I'll pop the unit out on the journey, show you a few bits and pieces, and then I'll see you in Norwich. right. This big building here on the right hand side here, this green building. They build huge broad boats in there. It's called Haynes. Might just see the big moulds on the side there. I'm talking like 30, 40 footers, yeah, big huge boats, holiday boats. And you got all different MOT centres along the side here. Big glass place. And a couple of independent chaps on the end here. One does van, one does cars. Same sort of thing as me. So out on the main road. I'm gonna pop and grab Joe on the way. She want to do a few bits. So it's been a lot of messing about. So I first went to GSF, German, Swedish and French, and they had a track rod arm, so I grabbed that, but no bottom ball joints. So I then moved on to Euro Car Parts, and they had the bottom ball joints, so we got them. So we've been messing around sort of around Norwich, going from one side to the other side, getting bits, but we finally got there, and now we're just filled up, just topped the old rover tank up. I'm now going to grab a Subway. Joe's in there ordering it, so I'll grab that, give me something to eat before I get started when I get back, and then we'll start fitting all these parts and carrying on with this car. Yeah, so Joe's in there ordering the old Subway and paying for the fuel, and then we'll do the drive back. Might stop off somewhere on the way to eat me food, somewhere like maybe the Mill or somewhere like that. Subway was really nice, steak and cheese. We were probably there about half an hour. Chap had a pike, a couple of bream and some roach. So there's a few fish in that area. I don't think he was expecting to get the pike because he went to lift it with his quite small net, like a little roach net, and snapped his landing pole right in half. So kind of a bit of a muddle. Now coming back through all the lanes and stuff. I just dropped Joe off. I'm heading back towards the unit. It's obviously dark now, as you can see, but it's still only 5, whatever I've got to do really to get whatever jobs I want to get done. So we'll just push on, cut all the gear, put it all right, so fingers crossed we'll get it all buttoned up, back together, and looking good. I'm only about 10 minutes away from the garage. Coming back up to the unit, industrial estate. Hopefully the gates are still open. If not, I've got a key. Nope, they're open, that's good. Still fair. A few people in by the looks of things. Quite a few people seem to work late on the estate. Same as me, you just got to get done what you want to get done, really, ain't you? Time limits don't really come into it. Right, in we go. Okay, so we're back in the unit and we have some parts to open up. Let's hope after all of that, it's a big old drive to Norwich, so it's an hour each way, and they're messing around having something to eat and that, you soon sort of lose 2.5, 3 hours. So, first one's looking pretty good. I literally can't move it, that's how tight they are, and that's how they're meant to be. So that's number one. Put that on the driver's side there, that'll be jubbly. Stick that down there. Ugh, that one's in a box for some reason. That one's probably meant to be as well. Should be the same again. Yep, looking good. Again, very hard to get them moving, but I said they're meant to be. Number 2, that's looking good. And then that leaves, that's the 2 ball joints, so that leaves track rod end. That'll be jubbly. Looks all in good condition. Threads are nice. Lovely. Track rod end to the passenger side. That down there. Right. So I'm going to spin around, start fitting some of these parts. I'll pop you in and out on a few bits of it and give you a bit of a sort of time lapse fast forward on some of it. And then the rest I'm going to whack your radio up, get the heaters going because it's freezing in here tonight. Saying out there we've only got 1.5 degrees, so it's getting pretty cold. Time's ticking away. So yeah, let's get on with it. Woohoo! We forgot some of the important bits. The big old drive shaft for the driver's side. Let's hope that's exactly what we want and not the wrong one. Oh, we can get in it. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, struggling to hold it one up. Lovely jubbly. There's no play in that one. Not like my ones. Ooh, they feel lovely. That one's all good. Put that down here in the pile. And that leaves us with one more to check. This one is the passenger side one. Oh, I've already took a load of tape off these and there's still loads. Oh. What we got in here then? Loads of paperwork trying to sell us stuff. CV boots and all that sort of stuff and whatever's on deal at the moment. And here's the other shaft. This one's just a lot shorter than the other one. Again, no movement whatsoever, lovely and tight. Even get new bolts, which is nice, lovely jubbly. So we're well on our way now then. Let's start fitting some of these new parts. Whoa, try and warm up a little bit. Whack the old heater on. Full blast, 15 kilowatts blasting out of there. Take quite a lot to warm up this big old unit because just so many air leaks into like next door and just around the roof and stuff. I'll try to seal them up as much as I can, but loads coming just around the door and stuff like that because obviously the doors are sliding doors and yeah, it's a bit of a pain really, but once you get working you soon warm up. A few hot chocolates here and there and away you go. Got all tape stuck to my feet. Right, let's do it. Okay, let's tackle these. Gonna have to give them some heat because I just had to go at them and yeah, they're not coming undone. That's how cold it is in here. Give them a shake and you get flames out of the gas because the bottle's freezing. So you have to get it going and let it warm up a little bit. Put the old rubbers on the floor and we're going to get under here and warm these right up. Don't matter what we do to the nuts and bolts because they're getting in the bin. So any of the plastic lock thread in it hopefully will get melted. To bear with me, I've been listening to 80s music, 80s, 90s music. Come on, get hot and melt the thread lock. 17's on the bottom. Hoi! Oh, jeez. They do not want to move. I'm going to have to put a bar on them, right? Sometimes you have to cut them off, but I'm just trying not to have to do all that because we don't really want that sort of pain. The bar's going to fit over them, or a big spanner. I can interlock and use as a lever. If you lock two spanners together like, not dropping them, you lock two spanners together like this, sometimes you can get away with not having that. It's really, really tight. Really don't need that, to be honest. Oh, it's very tight for one of these. They normally undo quite easily. Right, I'm going to switch off then because they're going to be a pain. You're not going to want to watch me spend half an hour trying to undo these. So I eventually got that out with a lot of persuasion, but look at that. I don't know if you can hear it. It's really bad. You shouldn't be able to push them around. They should be nice and tight. I can literally just tap it and it's knackered. So that's going in the weigh-in pile. Get rid of that. I'm going to put a new one in, do a bit more, and see how we get on. So slid all the drive shaft in and just bolting up the connections to it now. We've got the bracket down behind the engine, so we're bolting that on. That's what holds the centre of the shaft in. I've got the bolts in, I've just got to do them up. They're in a fun place. Probably can't see much what I'm doing, but I'm talking you through it. I've basically got the clamp in the middle of the drive shaft, 13mm bolts, and we're doing it up. It shouldn't take too much to nip it up quite nicely, hopefully. Seems to be going on forever at the moment. It's starting to tighten up. You don't want it mega tight that you can't never undo it again, but you don't want it loose either. Bear with me, one more to go. I can't see what I'm doing either. I've just got my hands in there and I'm just feeling around and putting the socket on nuts and stuff. I always remember at the end of the job, putting the drive shafts in, that you need to top it up with some nice fresh new oil, which we will do. Right, so we've got a drive shaft sitting there. We've got a ball joint sitting there, which is very tight to move, so I'm going to tap it over. So we're going to want it fairly straight to get it on the joint. And there we've got the fun bit, we've got to get it. The drive shaft's got to go in the hub. Ow. Right, jam my fingers like I just did. That hurts when you do that. Just keep spinning it around till you get the splines lined up. This one is being a pain for no reason. Should be a case of just lining her up and plopping her in, but this is not having it for some reason. There we go. It's going in. So we'll put the bolt on the end. And what that will do is that will just stop it from pulling back out, but also once we're done with the bottom jaw joint, that will also help us do the drive shaft up. And then we've got the fun bit. Well, I say fun, it's a horrible bit most of the time. Just make sure there's no muck and grit and all sorts in the bottom ball joint way. When you're pulling this, you're probably going to pull the brake guard against the... I need that over a bit. No, I'm talking to myself here, but yeah. Yep, we're in. Lovely jubbly. Right. Bottom nut on. Not quite sure what size these are going to be because they're aftermarket, so they could be any size. Going to want some other spanners. Looking like a 21 or something like that, fairly big. What I'll do is I'll just grab a few, make sure I've got all the ones I want. That's the easiest way. Yeah. Let's try a 21, just that's what I guessed. No, even bigger. Surprisingly. I don't know why they make it so big. A lot of cars, they're hardly anything. Right, this bit is a long process because that's basically half a turn at a time. So it's probably going to take me 10 minutes just to do that up, so I'll turn you off while I do that. Well, I'm pretty annoyed now because I've been fitting them bottom joints as we looked at earlier on, and they're different. Can you see the difference? This one's got a much smaller shaft than the bottom of that one. So when they seat in the bottom of the arm, this one's coming through and going halfway up a thread, so you'd never be able to do it up. So these are wrong, and guess what? Wasted journey, got to go back to Norwich, get these refunded and get the right ones. So it's another 2 hours messing around driving, extra fuel. Oh, that's really annoying. I've now got to take that one back off that side because that's obviously wrong, and that's sort of messed up what I'm doing tonight. I've got that drive shaft in, but that's not the point. I could put the other one in, but I can't really get any further. I can't button nothing up, I can't put nothing back together on the bottom half, so it's not a lot of point me doing much more. So I'm going to take that one off, get it cleaned back up and put it back in the box, and then first thing in the morning I'll be whipping over to Norwich and picking them up before I come over here. Oh, so annoying. I was going to stay late tonight and get quite a bit done, but this is part of doing this job. To be honest, that happened quite a lot, getting the wrong parts, which is quite annoying, especially when it's done by the reg. You expect to get the right parts, don't you? But there we go. Right, I'm going to take this one off and I'll see you in the morning. Hello again, everyone. So it's the next day again now, and as you can see it's already dark. We got up this morning 7:30 and it was pouring with rain. It's now 7:30, still pouring with rain. I've been up to Norwich and then all over Norwich trying to sort out these ball joints, and in the end I've got a pair, so hopefully that's sorted. They look like the right ones now. I then had to go to Lowestoft, which is an hour and a half away. And get a new hose for the Karcher jet wash steam clean machine. It's a big old beast and it bursts its hose, and you can't just put a clamp or nothing on because that runs 250 psi and 200 degrees in heat, so you have to have the right hoses and etc, etc. So we had to go and buy a new hose, so we ran over there and done that. That weren't cheap. And then I've just come back, I've just dropped Joe off. I'm now heading towards the unit again now, and hopefully we can carry on. But yeah, I've already been out like 12 hours, or up 12 hours, and been driving all day. I'm hoping we can get these on, get these drive shafts and stuff in on this Volvo now, and then sort of move on with other stuff we've got to do. It's sort of holding me up a bit now, that should have been finished yesterday really, but Euro gave us the wrong parts, so we had to take them back and then find some other places. But as far as I know now, we should have all the right parts to be able to get that all back together. That's the plan. As I was saying, it's been absolutely pouring all day long, as it still is now, and as you see in front of me, the roads are really filling up again. Everywhere's flooding. This is quite deep. Just cruise through the middle of it. It's not too bad in this car because this is quite high off the ground on fairly big tyres. So yeah, that's sort of been my day. Here, there and everywhere. I've already done 209 miles messing around getting parts for the car and for the steam washer. That's a lot of miles, a lot of driving, a lot of fuel. That's just how my days go sometimes. I mean, I could have quite easily stayed at home, you know, and just sort of had me dinner and made an evening of it, but not going to get these things done unless I put the hours in. So I'm going to have to do a few more hours today and sort of see how we go. More flooding here. It's a fair bit. The roads are really filling up. The rivers are fairly high. They're just off the edges on the Broads. Not quite going over, but just touching, so that won't be long if I carry on. We've still got really high winds, and as I say, it's pouring with rain. Right, so I'll next see you as we pull into the industrial estate, and hopefully we'll be back in the unit and we'll be able to get some more work done. So we're just about back at the garage. Got a feeling the old light's going to be shut. Whee! Loads more water on the road. Everywhere's just getting completely flooded out. Just bear with me a sec, I've just got to unlock the gates. Yep, it's absolutely pouring. It's that really sort of misty, horrible rain. Absolutely soaked me. Obviously gonna have to shut the gates again behind me. It's because it's later in the evening. God, that wind is rough. Blowing my head off and pouring rain. Not very nice. Oh. Whew. God, it's cold out there. According to the gauge, we only got 1 degree. It's pretty cold. Oh, right. Let's get ourselves sorted. Get everything unlocked, and we'll see you in the unit. Oh. Okay, so we're back in the unit. This is the new part. Bear with me. And that's the new one. As you can see, this part here is much bigger than the ones we had before. So hopefully, whoop, drop the top nut. Don't want to be losing that, do we? We matched that up to the old one. It's looking pretty good. So let's get this new one in, and hopefully, or not hopefully, it should be perfect. Should be all good. So I'll whack it on fast forward, we'll smash this one in, get the dryer shafts and stuff done up on this side, and let's get this side wrapped up. It's becoming a bit of a pain now. Car's been in the same position for 2 days, and I wanted to be further than this. I wanted to be doing some other bits on it, have it cleaned out, all this front bumper stuff sanded down by now. So it's a bit of a pain, but let's do it. Okay, so as you saw, the other side went in fairly well. A couple of the hiccups, but nothing to worry about too much. Just moving the stuff around to the other side now so I can get all this side sorted out. This side's going to be a lot more of a pain because it's not nut and bolt. They're just rivets, which means they've got to be cut off, which is a pain. But it's got to be done, so I'll get under there and start chopping. Okay, so I've got the grinder and stuff out. The blade that's on there is far too small. Doesn't give me no room to get in and cut much. So let's get this off. Stick a nice fresh one on. Should give us the power to sort things out nicely. Plug her in. Don't know why that's on that side. Never ever use it on that side. Looking good. Right. Let's get in there and do some chopping. Goggles on. Try not to cut any of the new parts. Let's see what we can do. blade. That's annoying. There's still 3/4 of it left on there. It's the only trouble with doing these sort of jobs. There's not really much you can do about it, but and what we're trying to do is get the old rivets out. I've got one more side to cut as yet. I need to move this around this side. Oh, get another blade. Come on, look up. Everything's been a pain today. Quite annoying that we smashed that because we lost all of that disc, but there we go, nothing we can do about it. Let's get another one. Got a fair few I always keep sort of 20, 30 in stock. You never know what you're going to be chopping, sometimes you need a load of discs. Been known to chop whole cars in half in the past. So you never know what the next day is going to bring. Whew, one more to cut. But then we've still got to get through everything. Right, we'll get a punch, knock these all out, and hopefully we'll be able to move on. Well, I've cut them all off, and I've been hammering and chiseling and all sorts. They do not want to come out. So, time to heat them up. So we can get the old gas to burn a bit. What I've basically done is cut the top of the rivets off so that turns them into a bolt and ground them down flat into the metal. So now they really should be starting to come free and we'll be able to hit them through, but it's not happening right now. Maybe this is going to burn off some of the rubbish.
Everything's just been a pain on the toilet, man. Need to shock these a bit.
Starting to get them moving, but this has really been a pain. Never had one this tight before. There's nothing else I can do. I can only shock them and try and knock them through. It's literally the only way. The only other way is for me to take the whole arm off and deal with them in the vice or something like that, but I don't really want to do that. So I'll deal with it and I'll let you know how I got on and how I got them out. Whoa, that was an absolute nightmare. I almost spent 2 hours trying to get them off. This is how I've ended up. I've had to cut the bottom, I've had to cut the top, I've had to cut the joint in half to get it out, and that's just unbelievable. Tried absolutely everything. I'll take you in close and let you have a look and see the arm and stuff. And yeah, that was one hell of a job. So that's what the arm looks like now. Obviously got the new joint and everything in, that's all I could tidy, but I had to knock that all out of shape. I've been using hammers, chisels, all sorts of shape things, big old white bars, levers, all sorts of stuff to get this open up. It's an absolute nightmare. It's almost like it was welded in, but I've got it now. I'm going to whack this joint on the bottom of here, I'm going to do the nuts up, I'm going to put the track rod end in, which is this one here, into there. We'll do all that off camera and this side will be buttoned up. Whew. Well, luckily I didn't put all this side back together because I realised that I've got a broken drop link and that's not good. My mic fell off while I was recording this. I'm having to voice over this a little bit. So I hope I haven't broke one of my mics. But yeah, so I'm going to have to do the trip back to Norwich again tomorrow. So that's an hour each way again. Get a drop link and put that in before I put the rest of this side together. So I'll get that all done now. I won't film going there again, so I don't think you need to see that again. And I'll see you again once I get all this side of the car back together. It's becoming a real pain now, but nothing I can do about it. This is how the jobs go sometimes. I've got a feeling this car might have lived on grass and everything's a bit seized, but let's keep going and hopefully we'll get this sorted out. And it'll be back on its wheels before we know, and we can move on to the next few jobs. Oh, what a pain, eh? It's middle of the night as well. It's 1:30 in the morning and we're still going away, but yeah, that's all I can do now. I need some more parts again, so I'm going to leave this one here for now and I'll see you again tomorrow. Around the other side, as you can see, we're all buttoned up, drive shafts in, ball joints are in, track rod ends are in, stabiliser bars, everything's perfect, everything works. All really good on this side. That's just getting that other side sorted out. So I'll grab them parts, get it all fitted up tomorrow, and that's where we'll be. It's another day, everyone. Been to Norwich, got my drop links, been home. It's been raining all night again, and as you can see, we've got nice deep water again. I actually dug all these ditches out the other day with the diggers, but the ditches are full and the road is still full. So that didn't really work. They need to be dug out a lot further. So we're heading back towards the unit, and hopefully we're going to fit this drop link, get things buttoned up on the underneath of the car, and go from there. I'm heading through the lanes at the moment, so I'll see you again when we get over the unit. so we're back in the unit. I've been in here a good couple of hours now. I've put everything back together on the passenger side. All gone lovely, really good. I've been underneath and I've started removing engine mountings. This is the first one. Took the rear gearbox engine mounting out, which is this one here. If you look at the state of that, see how much that's moving. That's, well, it's nearly off the rubbers, all split around the edges as you can see down here. And that's pretty naked. So when you pull away, you get a like judder on the whole engine as it pulls away. Which means that's no good. So we're gonna order another one of them right now. Might even go and get it now. But I'll spin you around and show you what's what under there. So yeah, we've got tools everywhere, but that's just normal. Got the new joint on there. Nice new drive shaft in. Nice new ball joint all fitted. Drop links are all in. I didn't show you them, but they're all in. Looking good. And like I say, we've been up under there. Right under the back here. I didn't bring you under there because you can't see under there. That's very awkward. And yeah, we're on the floor down here. So we've got stuff everywhere. As you can see, look at that lot. But we've got it all sorted. Old drive shafts. All the rubbish and stuff need clearing up now from all the new parts. Oil's under there. We need to put that in the containers and stuff and ready to get rid of. Put some fresh in. And like I say, our next job is to sort this engine mount out. So we finally got there. So we've got some engine mounts to do. This one, and they're going to have a look at the other two as well. So I know one of the top ones is gone as well. So might end up doing all three, which is a bit of a pain, a bit costly. They're very expensive on these. But it's got to drive nice, it's got to run nice, etc, etc. So I think I'm going to wrap this one up here. It's getting fairly long now, and I'm still going to be onto the Volvo, so I think he's done a fair bit of this week. I've obviously been doing stuff off the camera as well, because I've run to online internet sites and stuff like that where I sell parts and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, so I've been pretty busy. Been driving here, there and everywhere, and this one's been a pain. That's just how it goes, to be honest. Right. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time. And I'll see you soon in another video. Maybe on the beach, maybe fishing, maybe out for a walk, maybe out for a drive picking up a car. Who knows? See you soon. Bye for now.